Hi, hello. It's Grandad again, and I got another story for you. This one's called The Lion Inside. Oh, there he is. And it says, in a dry, dusty place where the sand sparkled gold, stood a mighty flat rock, all craggy and old, a bit like Grandad. Under that rock, a tiny, full house, lived the littlest, quietest, meekest brown mouse. A bit like Arlo. Not really. He was so very tiny, so incredibly small, that nobody noticed him, ever, at all. He trod on and he got trod on and sat on and missed out for stuff, ignored and forgotten. Oh, there he is being sat on, and there he is being trodden on, and there he is being ignored. Nobody even knows where he is. Poor old mouse. Meanwhile, far above, on top of the rock, times were quite different. It was 9 o'clock. Hey, it's me, look, lion. Rah! This huge, toothsome creature made everyone saw how important he was by how loud he could roar. There he is, look, roaring. Roar! Can you roar? I bet you can. Roar! He was head of the pack. He was shouty and tough. He loved showing the crowd he was made of strong stuff. Look, there he is roaring at all the other lions. And there he is picking up a hippo. He has to be pretty strong to pick up a hippo. Yes, all were impressed by this mighty king cat. If only, thought Mouse, I could be more like that. There he is, look, impressing everyone. I think he's a bit of a show-off. You'll meet a few show-offs in your time, I'm telling you. I've met a few. Then late one dark night, in his Minnie Mouse bed, the cleverest thought popped into his head. He jumped from the covers and held up a paw. I've got it, he said. What I need is a roar. And he roared. I bet he didn't roar very loud, though. I mean, what if this mouse, with the weeniest squeak, was a little more grrr and a little less meek? Well, he'd still be the smallest of furry brown mice, but he'd make friends and join in, and life would be nice. Oh, and that's him thinking with like all of his friends. Like you with your friends, and Emmy, and all of the others. Yes, thought the mouse, I must find out how. I will learn how to roar, and I will learn it now. He's looking for a book there to tell him how to roar, look, on his bookshelf. But gulp, oh my gosh, there was only one beast who could teach him this thing, but might make him a feast. I think he's worried he might eat him. He wouldn't hardly notice, would he? It was time to be strong, to take a chance. After all, forever. This was such a long time to feel small. There he is, look, wishing he wasn't quite so small. So he made himself braver, and he thought like a winner. He set off for the top, hoping not to be dinner. Whose dinner do you think he'd be? Lion's dinner. It felt like the scariest thing he could do. But if you want things to change, you first have to change you. It's true that, you know. Sometimes you just have to think about things a different way. And there he is on the way to the top. Can you see? He's trying in the night to get to the top of the rock where the lion is. The further he climbed, the closer he got to the slumbering lion, reclining on top. Oh, there he is, still climbing up. Can you see him? Where is he? Oh, right there under my photo. There. There he is, climbing up. And the lion's up here somewhere. Then at last, as he stood on his tippity toes, he found himself suddenly nose to nose. Look to the big lion right there. He's a lot bigger than the mouse, isn't he? Ahem, gulp, pardon me. Wake up, Mr. Lion, you've got company. Squeak, Mr. Lion. What I've come to you for is Squeak. Do you think you could teach me to roar? Do you think you can? I don't think so. A silence befell that twinkling plain. The lion opened his eyes and puffed out his mane. Time slowed right down. Why, it felt like a week. Then he opened his mouth and let out... What do you think he let out? Look, there's the lion looking at the mouse. Is he going to eat him? Is he going to bite him? What's he going to do? He let out an eek! Look! He's scared. The lion's scared of the mouse. Bit like Nanny. Nanny's scared of mice. The lion was shaking, his paws all a fumble. He was backing away with a scrambling tumble. Don't hurt me, he whimpered. Oh, try to be nice. Well, my goodness, this lion was frightened of mice. Look at him. He's all scared. Oh, no. A scared lion. There you go. Don't worry, Mouse peeped. I'm a friend, not a foe. Let's rock this together. We'll have fun, don't you know? There is the mouse. Look. He was a very brave mouse, wasn't he? I don't know if I could be that brave. That was a magical moment for sure, when Mouse didn't feel at all small anymore. He had found his true voice. He had learned to speak out, and that you don't need to roar or to shout. There he is, look, talking in the lion's ear. I think they're going to be friends, you know. And from that day and always, the two were a pair. They both liked that rock better now the rock was to share. The mouse, while still little, felt big in his head. The lion still roared, but with laughter instead. There he is, look, laughing. Ha 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 ha! Not going. Yes, that day they both learned that no matter what your size, we all have a mouse and a lion inside. So sometimes we can only be little, but we can feel really big and do really good things. And you will one day. Anyway, that's the end of that story, and we'll find another one soon. So, bye from Grandad and Nanny, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye.